Happy Tuesday and welcome to Stitched Up Weekly episode 16. Right, I didn't film anything yesterday. I was having a really bad day. Overnight, Sunday night into Monday morning, we had a phone call. Bronte was taken into hospital again with breathing difficulties. She's out now, she's home. She came home yesterday with different medication and ongoing support. She's been tested again for the coronavirus. I don't know what's going on with her. She's exhausted, bless her. Well, we were all exhausted yesterday from being up half of the night, and then I had to go to work. But she is probably going to be coming home for a little while, so yeah, we'll sort that out at some point this week. So yeah, so that was a bit stressful. So yeah, I just was not, as you can understand, I was not in the mood yesterday at all. I felt very out of sorts with myself, but I'm okay today. Everything's all right. I got last week's vlog edited and uploaded last night, and yeah, a couple of people mentioned about my fingernail and have I had a tetanus shot and antibiotics. In the UK, tetanus is only needed once every 20 years as a booster, and you only need a booster if you've been exposed to a tetanus source, which a sewing needle in a sewing machine would not give you tetanus, so it's not classed as one of the routes of transmission of tetanus anyway. So yeah, that's not necessary. Thank you for your concern anyway. Antibiotics also not necessary. There's no sign at all that this is infected. We wouldn't give prophylactic antibiotics for an injury like this anyway, because you know there's so much now out there. I'm sure many of you are aware of antibiotic resistance, and we shouldn't be giving antibiotics unless they are absolutely necessary. And my fingernail, whilst destroyed and very sore, is sore from the injury, not from infection. There's no signs of infection at all, so then also not necessary. So thank you anyway. Obviously, you know, I'm a nurse, I can keep an eye on it. If there shows any sign of infection, then I will seek the necessary help, but it's fine. It's getting a lot better actually. I can use my finger again now. I can put pressure on it. It's still a bit sore, but you know, that's understandable, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't get any of the Doris dress done last night, so it's where you last saw it on Sunday. Yeah, when I got in last night, as I say, I was totally out of sorts yesterday and needed to get last week's vlog edited and up, and also I just needed to get a bit of fresh air and a bit of headspace, which is what we did last night. We just went for a late night walk, which was lovely actually, because we went into Crowder, where I've taken you before. We saw loads of rabbits, and we also saw a fox, and I've never seen a fox in real life, and it was amazing. So that was definitely worth it, and brightened up my day. Yeah, so today's Tuesday. I'm back at work today, and then I'm off the rest of the week, which is really lovely. I will be getting some more sewing done this week and some more running as well. I haven't been for a run since Sunday. My hip's been hurting again. I do have a bit of trouble with this hip, and obviously I've been increasing my running a lot these last few weeks, and my hip is paying for it a little bit, so that was a little bit sore. So but it should be okay for tomorrow. It's very noticeable that there's a lot more traffic on the roads, and it's a little bit concerning. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in the UK it seems that a lot of people are just getting really fed up of the lockdown now and just deciding to do their own thing, really. That seems to be apparent, and it's really sad that people are behaving that way, but I can understand people being frustrated. I'm frustrated mainly with going to work and coming home and not much else really. I'm fortunate that I've got my hobbies, you know, and there's plenty that I can be doing at home. to keep me busy and occupied, but I like getting out and about. That's the thing. I do love being at home, don't get me wrong, but I also like getting out somewhere each day. And obviously we've been limited for some time now as to where we can go and what we can do each day. And I'm as frustrated with that as everybody else, but I also understand the bigger picture. So yeah, so who knows where that's going to go. So yes, I think the plan this week is I want to get the Doris dress fitted. I have tried on the bodice and I think it's going to be okay. Obviously it has a side zip as well as like the front bodice band is a button up as well, and I'm a little bit, it's difficult because I tried it on and pinned it to me and it was okay, but the front button band was gaping a fair bit, so like the facing, you could see the facing, but I'm not sure whether that's just because it was pinned, and you know, it'll be different when it's all put together. I'm hoping it will be anyway, because there isn't a lot of ease in that, and I'm a little bit worried that I should have maybe have gone for a 14. But the problem is around the neck and the upper part of the bodice is loose on me, which I'm much smaller around my, you know, my shoulders and my neckline anyway. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I really need it to go right, because otherwise it will be the third thing on the trot that isn't fitting me properly, and I need a successful sew, put it that way. The Doris is finished. I really like this dress. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I have put 8 buttons that used to be on one of Martin's work shirts down the front. It's got a couple of little pleats just at the waist here, grown on sleeves, nice little belt at the back that you can see, and the skirt is in lots and lots of panels. It's really swishy, really lovely. It's got that nice little tie belt at the back, which is fixed into a couple of pleats, darts, sorry, at the back, and it's got a side invisible zipper that you can probably just see there. And yeah, I think it fits me really well, so I'm really pleased. I went with the size 12, but ended up just doing 3/8 of an inch side seams, which just gives me an extra ½ inch. It is a little bit gapey at the top here, but I always find this, because I'm always so much slimmer here than I am sort of fuller further down, so, but it fits me fine on the bust. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I have added on a lot of length to this dress. I mean, I've still got a bit of room, as you can see, but that's nice. It's nice wearing ease. I added on a good inch and a half, I think, to the waist, and I added on 2.5 inches to the legs and the length of the skirt. And to be honest with you, I probably would have liked a little bit more. I have done, I don't know if you can see, but I have done a narrow, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so I've done a narrow rolled hem, only because I was a little bit worried that I was going to lose a lot of length if I did any other type of hem, and I didn't want to lose much length, so I basically trimmed the skirt and did a very narrow hem on my sewing machine, and I think it works fine because of this fabric. Obviously this is a crepe georgette, and it was really cheap, was this, from the textile centre, but I think it works really well with this particular style. I've got a padded bra on with this as well, so obviously if I wasn't wearing a padded bra, I could probably get away with the full size 12 with the full seam allowance, but I think I needed it just to give me a little bit more room. But yeah, I really like it. I just think next time I would probably add on another inch, depending on the fabric choice that I used. I'd maybe add another inch length to the skirt so that I would have more options regarding hems, because obviously you can't do a narrow hem on every type of fabric because it just won't look right. But no, really pleased I've finally got the Doris dress done, and yeah, really like it. You will never guess what I've hemmed today. Yes, the penny is done. It's hemmed. I've done a blind hem. It just needs a good press. But yeah, finally, it's not taken me 2.5 years this time. Right, moving on. I am now about to cut out the Carolyn pajamas. Now, I've had this pattern, probably about 18 months, 2 years, and I've never made it yet. And I did trace out all the pattern pieces probably about this time last year actually, for both the short-sleeved shorts version and the long version as well. And I did cut out the long version, and I have never made it up, and I don't know where it is. Now, I am wanting to make the short-sleeved shorts version because we're coming into summer, and I'm going to toile it first with this fabric. So if I just move this out of the way, I can show you. This is a cotton lawn that I got from Indian Royal Treasures, I think probably about 5 years ago now. And I think there's about 3 or 4 meters of it. It's not very wide, but it's fine. It's going to be fine to be able to use as a toile for this. So I'm planning to make the short-sleeved shorts version, and I can't find my PDF pattern, as in the pattern that I printed out. I think the PDF is still obviously on my computer, but the only pattern pieces that were in the envelope that I'd put together was for the shorts version. So the long sleeved ones, I'm not sure where they are, and I don't know where the big pattern sheet is that I printed out and taped together, and I really don't want to be printing that out again, so I'm going to have to hunt for that. But it looks like the pieces that I traced out were a size 8 around the top. This is a US 8, so that equates to a UK 12, and grading out to a 14 hip, a UK 14. And the shorts, I have done a size 8 waist and graded out to a 14 around the hips. So I'm hoping that that will be okay, because I've had a check of the pattern measurements and it seems to be okay. It looks like I've already made all the adjustments, because I've lengthened the pajama top pieces, and I've also lengthened the shorts as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out, and we'll see how we get on. I am wanting to do some piping on this. I've got some black cotton lawn in my stash, so I think I'm going to use that to pipe the edges, and we'll see how it turns out. Hello and happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday today. It's early afternoon, and it's the first time I've picked up the camera today, but I thought I would show you what I've been doing. So I have got the Closet Case Patterns Carolyn Pajama shorts put together and finished, including piping around the legs, pockets as well, and I'm really pleased with them. I have tried them on, and they do fit me, but I think I need a full butt adjustment in this pattern as well. But to be perfectly honest, any woven pajamas I've ever had are always a little bit tight across the butt. So these are perfectly wearable, which is fine. And I wanted to have a go at the piping because I wanted to make these a wearable toile before I get some more fabric for, you know, a really nice pair. But I am going to alter the butt on the pattern. Oh, nail, by the way. I have filed it down. I've finally been able to take off the plasters. Is that ever going to focus? Let's see if that's going to focus. I don't know if that's ever going to focus, but you get the idea. I've been able to file it down so that it's not going to catch on anything, and I've put some nail polish on, which, you know, it makes it look a bit better. You can just see the dried blood underneath there. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with these. I have obviously the pyjama top cut out as well. This is just some black cotton I had in my stash that I've been using to make the piping. I've used 3mm piping for these, and yeah, I'm really happy with them. So we're going to go out for a walk now anyway and get some fresh air and a bit of exercise, and I'm going to come back to the pyjama top a little bit later this afternoon. Right, so we've just come for a walk and I've taken Martin somewhere he's never been before, haven't I, love?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see them, but there's this beautiful little bluebell wood. All the bluebells are out. It's so lovely. All the birds singing and the roar of the motorway. Here we go. It's gorgeous. Really, really pretty. It's a bit of a conservation area as well, so you can't obviously go trampling through it, which I wouldn't want to anyway, but yeah, really pretty. We've got loads of these little places where we live. There's always something new, a new path to discover that you've not walked before, so it's really lovely. Back from walk, and we had a lovely walk actually, and yeah, we managed to get back in time before the heavens opened and it absolutely threw it down. Made a start on the Carolyn pyjama top. I've got the pocket done and stitched onto the left hand front pyjama top, so I'm pleased with that. So next, I want to wear these tonight, so I want to get them finished, but yeah, next we have to stitch the shoulder seams together of the front and back bodice pieces, so we shall do that now. I've just noticed that Sherwood's have just announced their weekend sale again. That's on till May the 4th. If anybody's interested, it is 20% off, no minimum spend, and the code is May 20, so fill your boots. I certainly have. Don't tell Martin. He's always telling me that I've got enough fabric, but actually, saying that, there's a couple of fabrics that I've just bought that I'm going to make him some summer shirts out of. I'm a bit inspired by the sewing bee last night because they did holiday week, so hopefully by the time you've seen this you'll know, but yeah, they did holiday week, so they were doing palazzo trousers and they also did Hawaiian shirts, so I'm going to make him a couple of Hawaiian shirts. He doesn't know. And I think he needs to be really grateful that I'm buying Lady McElroy fabrics to make him Hawaiian shirts, you know, Lady McElroy fabrics on him and not me. Good morning, happy Friday. So I am wearing the finished PJs. So these are the Closet Case Patterns Carolyn pyjamas, and I finished them last night with all the lovely piping detail all around the collar and on the pocket and on the sleeve cuffs. Now I love them, they're amazing. I've got the shorts on as well. The shorts fit me perfectly. The sleeves, if you can see, they are just a little bit tight. Well, they're actually quite a lot tight, to be honest. Not uncomfortably so, but tight all the same. And I don't know why, because they're exactly the same size as the top, and I've got plenty of room in the top. The top is a size 8, graded out to a 12 at the hips, and yeah, so I don't understand whether, maybe I just traced off the wrong size of the sleeves, but they are a little bit too tight, but that's fine. These were meant to be a wearable toile, and I do have enough of this fabric left that I can retrace the sleeves in a bigger size and yeah, and then attach them. So that's okay, but I don't have enough piping left at the minute. That's the only thing. I only just had enough piping to do these, so I've just ordered some more piping anyway, because I want to make another pair of these out of the Panda Retreat fabric by Lady McElroy. I'll put a picture of that here, which I've just ordered from Sherwood's. Yeah, so, but I thought I would show you them. I did sleep in them last night and they're very comfortable. As I say, the sleeves aren't uncomfortably tight, but they are too tight. So I am going to alter those for the next pair. The only other thing as well was the shorts I graded from a size 8 waist to a 14 at the hip, because these are obviously cotton lawn and there is no stretch, and I always find woven patterns woven bottoms, should I say, tend to be a little bit tight on me. So that's worked fine in the fact that when I've got them on, they fit fine, but it is a bit of an effort getting them on over my hips, because the size 8 waist is obviously a lot smaller. It's 3 sizes smaller. So I think for the next pattern, I think because obviously you put elastic in the waist, I think I'm going to go up to a 10 waist, because I just think if I, you know, I can put the same amount of elastic in to bring them in, but at least they'll go on easier. You know, at the end of the day, these are pajamas. You want pajamas to be easy, don't you? Loose fitting and easy. So I'm really glad I've made them, and I'm really glad I put the time into them. The only difficulty I would say that I had was around the lapel. You can just see that this side here is not exactly the same as that side, and you know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist really, and that's irritating me a little bit. The join here, to get the piping to join up, you have to be absolutely precise, and obviously I clearly wasn't. So I need to just work on my technique a little bit for the next set. But anyway, I'm gonna get dressed now because I've just done my face and my makeup, and let you know what I'm gonna be up to today. This is today's plan. Nothing really exciting, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. I'm making scrubs. So I have joined a local sewing group which is making scrubs for our local hospital. Obviously this kind of thing is happening all over at the minute, isn't it? And but the difference with our local sewing group is it's run in conjunction with the town council. It's been set up specifically for this project, so the fabric and the notions and things have all been donated. So basically what's happened is the town council has got together with the local trust, local businesses, to look at this as a project. So they've worked with the trust to source the correct fabric that they need for scrubs, with specific ways of finishing the garments, where they want pockets, etc, etc, etc. And then local businesses and the local council have donated money to buy the fabric that the trust need, and then obviously did a call out for local sewers and seamstresses, of which I sort of put my hand up and said yes, I'm happy to help to create scrubs. So this is fiery. I don't know what type of fabric it is. It feels like a heavy cotton, but it feels like it's got wool in it. I'm sure it hasn't got wool in it because they won't be very comfortable to wear. But yeah, it's not polycotton, absolutely, because the trust wants specific fabric. So I've got 10 meters. They've allocated 10 meters of it to me, and we're using the So Different unisex scrubs pattern that is easy to find, and this has been printed by a local printer, and I've been given a copy. Well, I think there's quite a few of us, but we've all been given a copy. They've asked me to do the size large, and we've even had a local company provide us with labels to label all the garments with as well. So we had strict instructions that these were to be washed, the fabric was to be washed at 60 degrees prior to us actually cutting into it, and washed in a hot, dried in a hot tumble dryer. When with the washing as well, there were strict instructions that we weren't to use any detergent or fabric softener. It was just plain stick it in the wash with no additives at all. So for you guys that live in other countries, you can see why in the UK the NHS is, you know, for all the goodwill of lots of people out there that are buying fabric and making scrubs and all that kind of thing. Please, 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 if you're in the UK, speak to your local trusts first about their what they actually need and how you have to handle the fabric, what fabric you need to choose, that kind of thing, because people's goodwill is amazing and it's great that everybody wants to get involved with this kind of thing, but there's no point spending all your time sewing up scrubs if when they get to the trusts they can't use them because they don't meet the regulations. So obviously in other countries your regulations will be different, but I can only speak for how our NHS works. We have absolutely no call whatsoever in the UK to be making face masks, homemade face masks for hospitals and care facilities. Again, I'm a nurse myself, and I know that this kind of thing is happening all over the world. And, you know, again, I can't speak for other countries. I can only speak for the NHS. And I guess the only reason I'm mentioning this is because quite a number of people have been messaging me privately and asking me, because there's been such a call for people to make homemade face masks. But the evidence is very clear currently that for clinical use in hospital environments to protect workers against getting the coronavirus, and also protecting patients if they have it and are asymptomatic, that homemade face masks will not protect you at all. Unfortunately, virus particles are so small that they can easily be passed through the fibres of most fabrics that we have access to be able to make these kinds of things. So and the other problem with face masks is that they do encourage you to touch your face a lot, because you're forever wanting to adjust the straps, etc., and adjust the mask, which we should be limiting the amount of face touching that we're doing. So so I won't be making face masks. That's my take on it from a professional perspective. Again, there is some they're looking at some evidence at the minute about whether we should be wearing them out in public so that we can get people out and about even more. That might be an option, because you know, it might go some way to protecting or preventing the spread of some of the virus, I guess, just from a general public perspective. But certainly in clinical situations in the UK, homemade face masks are not needed in NHS environments. Right, so what I'm going to do, what I've done is I have printed out, no, I haven't printed this out because this was printed out for me. I have cut out the pattern. I've just been discussing with the rest of the group where they want pockets. We're not going to be inserting inseam pockets into the trousers. What they're actually asking for is a pocket on the front, both sides, and also one upper breast pocket as well. These are going to be patch pockets, and then they're also asking for a side pocket, a patch pocket on the side of the trousers, and one on the reverse at the hip side as well, just so that they've got lots of pockets where they can store things should they need to get to them. So I have ironed the pattern because obviously it was in a massive AO sheet, which was all folded up like that. We're not going to be using these pockets, but so you can see all the fold lines in there. So I've just gently ironed this pattern paper. As I say, I've got 10 metres of the fabric, and the plan is that we should be able to get 3 sets of scrubs out of the 10 metres. So wish me luck. Right, scrub tops are done. So this is the name of our little sewing group. I don't know if you can see that. Marshall and Sewing Brigade. Right, yes. So I've got all 3 of the tops done. The bottoms are cut out over there, but I'm not going to do those tonight because it is now about 6:30. I've just had my tea. The tops were the most time consuming. I think the trousers will be straightforward because they've got obviously side splits, little pockets here, a breast pocket there, and then the neckline is a V neckline, as you can see, all faced. So I'm pleased I've got those done anyway, so I've made some good progress. So I am now going to sew something for me. Right, more running kit. I am going to make another pair of the green style stride tights, but I'm doing the capri version, which just comes just below the knee. I want to wear these tomorrow, so I have cut them out with my plain black lycra, of which I don't have much left now from Walton's, and this gorgeous lycra, which I also got from Walton's. So what I am doing is I'm doing the main pants and the waistband just in the plain black, and what you see in the blue there I am doing in this as the contrast. So hoping that's going to look okay. So I should be able to get these sewn up in an hour and a half-ish, roughly. So let's get started. Right, I've just got back from my run. I won't show you my face because I'm a hot sweaty mess, but here are the strides that I made into capris yesterday, which I've just worn on my run, and they're amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, these took me about an hour and a half last night. I love these sort of chevron stripes down the back. They're really nice, so really happy with those. Good morning, happy Saturday. So I've just got back, well, I haven't just got back from my run, but I've been for my run. I've done 7¼ miles this morning. Had my shower, washed my hair, put some makeup on, And yeah, I realised I've not even mentioned the sewing bee this week, have I? Are you all watching it? Yeah, I really enjoyed this week actually. Tropical is really my kind of thing because I love tropical prints. So loved the Palazzo pants, loved the men's tropical shirts. I thought they were all really good. So really enjoyed it this week. There seems to be a little bit of a hoo-ha going on. I think there's been a few complaints submitted about Joe Lycett's his approach, I guess, to presenting. Some people aren't really appreciating that. I find it a bit sad actually that people are complaining about it. We fought really hard to get Sewing Bee back on our screens, and you know, if people are now complaining about it, then we're going to be fighting a losing battle keeping it on our screens, aren't we? You know, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be light-hearted. It's not a serious sewing program, is it? It's supposed to be light-hearted and entertainment, and I love it. And you know, I just wish people could see it for what it is and just enjoy. And if they don't enjoy it, turn off. Right, I am going to make some Palazzo pants today anyway, inspired by the Sewing Bee this week. I've just been having a quick look through a couple of copies of Bird Mag that I've got downstairs, but there aren't any in there. So I'm going to go through my sewing patterns, of which I have many. There's quite a number up there and up there as well. I've also got some more over there somewhere. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to have a look through. Oh, and also there's quite a lot there as well. So I'm going to have a look through my patterns and see if I have got any suitable patterns for Palazzo pants. Now, I know that the original Great British Sewing Bee book did have a pattern for Palazzo pants in there. I have got that book and I have tried that pattern before and I didn't like it. So I'm not going to use that one. But I would like something without a waistband, high-waisted, you know, flared leg. I think that would be really nice for the summer. So I'm going to have a search and see what I can come up with. Right, so I've gone through all my paper patterns and there is nothing that is fitting exactly what I'm after. I have found this one, which I've never made, McCall's M7131. But this is obviously a really wide leg pant, but it's got pleats in and a big waistband, and that's not really what I'm after, so I've put that to one side. Somebody emailed me or mentioned in one of the comments about the pattern that I said was my go-to pants pattern. It's this one, M6515 McCall's. Again, this is a wide leg pant and it's a really nice pattern, but again, it's got a waistband. Looking at the line drawings at the back, there's different versions for this, but yeah, this one has a waistband, and I would have to retrace that one. I have found this in my stash, which I've made before and I absolutely love it, and I want to make this again. This is the Margot by So La Di Da Vintage Patterns, and I was thinking about just using the trouser portion of this, but it does have pockets in, and I don't want pockets in. I just want a real totally flat front. So I suppose I could hack the pattern a bit, but yeah, so there is that as an option. But I've got this out because I am going to make one of these this year again, because I have one version and I love it loads and I want to make another. I've also dug out this pattern, which is the Beach Pajamas by Now and Then Patterns, and yeah, this is a fabulous pattern. I have made it once, but I made it too small, and I made it out of a very, very lightweight viscose, which was too small, so it was just too tight around my bum, so they went in the bin, to be honest. So I need to revisit this pattern and retrace it, so I'm going to make this year. I've also dug out, totally going off on a tangent, M6044, which is the shirt pattern that I have altered to fit both my husband and my son. So I am going to make Martin another one of these, I think, out of the Barbarella fabric. So we'll get that cut out at some point this week. And then the other one that I've been thinking about a lot lately is this one, which is Vogue V9104. And I made this a few years ago. I made it in blue and white, and I don't know where it's gone, to be honest, but I made a bit of an error with it. It's a gorgeous dress. It looks amazing on. But the problem I had with it was I lengthened it, and what ended up happening was that it trailed a bit on the ground, and where I lengthened it meant that where the two fabrics join up there was loads of puckering. So I'd not been sewing very long when I sewed this, and yeah, so it was a bit of a disaster, to be honest, but I did wear it. I wore it a couple of times and then I think it ended up binned. But I would like to remake this, and I love these colours together. I'd love sort of like an orange and then a pale peach together. I think that would look really nice. So I'm on the hunt at the minute for these sort of colour viscoses, just in plain, so if you see any then please let me know. So yeah, so I've left that one out as well. So what I've actually done is I have gone through my sewing bee books, and it is the From Stitch to Style book that has the palazzo pants in. I've looked at that pattern, and again it's got a waistband, and I don't want a waistband, I just want a facing. So I think I'm going to trace that off, retrace it, omit the waistband and create a facing instead with the side zip, and see how that works. So wish me luck. Right, so toile is done. I've tried it on. The fit is almost there, apart from got a little bit of camel toe going on, which is not a good look, is it? So I have just re-altered the pattern to give me 3/4 of an inch depth extra in the crotch seam, and I think they're going to work. So if I hadn't have done that 1 inch butt allowance, I have no idea how these would have fit, but I do remember trying this pattern before and I couldn't get the fit right at all. But I'm really pleased with extending the waist up to my natural waist. That's worked really well, and they fit perfectly around my butt now, apart from, as I say, I just need a bit more depth in the crotch. So I've altered the pattern, and Martin keeps calling these calypso pants, not palazzos, but he sort of challenged me, a la Great British Sewing Bee, to tell me that I've got to get gosh, I can't speak, perfect pattern matching across the front and back crotch seam. So anyway, I'm going to make 2 pairs, and I'll show you the fabric that I've chosen from my stash. The first one is this, which is a gorgeous, I don't know what it is actually. It's a fabric I got from Colville last year, and it's one of their Ted Baker style type fabrics. It feels, I don't know, it feels scuba-ish, but it's not a scuba. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I'm gonna make, I've got 3 meters of this, so I'm going to make 1 pair out of that. And then the other one is this fabric, which I got from the lovely Jay of the Fabric Edit. So that's this one here, very tropical vibes going on there. So I'm going to have a go at this pattern matching. So I'm going to have to cut out the front and the back pieces, not on the fold, oh, you know what I mean. Cut them out one at a time, that's it. So I'm going to get on with that now, and let's get these sewn up and see how they turn out. I've created my facings now as well, so they're here. So we shall see how this looks, and fingers crossed, I'm going to have a couple of pairs of palazzos by the end of today. Right, I've just laid this out. It's not doubled over. I've just laid it out on, yeah, as it is. But I just thought I'd show you the fabric in a bit more detail. It is really, really beautiful. It's got a nice weight to it, but it's got enough drape, which will be nice for palazzos. It does have a little bit of give on the across, not the grain line, the other way. And my brain is failing me today totally. I'm just looking for the right way up. I think that's the right way up with these tulips pointing that way. I mean, they're going to be pretty wacky palazzos, aren't they? But if you're going to do palazzos, you need them to be a good bold print like this, don't you? Right, both sets of pants are made. It is now about 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that, so we're going to be having tea soon. But I thought I would take you outside and show you the finished palazzo pants. So I did the size 12 to 14, 12 waist, 14 hips. I raised the waist by 4 centimetres to take it to my natural waist. I also dropped the crotch by 3/4 of an inch, and what else did I do? Full butt adjustment, and it's worked. Right, so there we go. So these are the first ones that I made with the fabric that I got from Lovely Jay, who is the fabric edit. So these are the first ones. Now I made these totally flat fronted and I just included a little dart at the back, and it's worked brilliantly on these. I have included a invisible zip just on that edge there, and there is a 2-inch facing. I think next time I'm going to make the facing slightly bigger, so I'm going to get changed, put into the other pair that I've made, and I'll show you those. Right, so excuse the pattern matching because it just went out of the window totally, but I'm going to show you the second pair now that I've made. So again, I'm really happy with these. Now these ones do have, I think they're a lightweight scuba, and they do have a little bit of give. So what I found was that they were just too big on the waist when I'd made them up. So what I've done is I've taken in, well, I've made the darts slightly deeper by probably, let me think, about 1 centimetre on each side, and I've also taken in the side seam that's opposite to the invisible zip by a good 5/8 of an inch as well. So, and it fits me much better on the waist now, but I love them. I absolutely love them. They're amazing. I wished I'd taken the time to do the pattern matching better, but you know, to say that yeah, they're just amazing. It really does show that it just, you know, if you're prepared to take a bit of time to iron out any fit adjustments that you might have, you can end up with something that looks really good, and I love these. I absolutely love them. So yeah, they wouldn't win the sewing bee, would they, because my pattern matching is just not on point at all. But I've still come out with 2 pairs of wearable trousers today that I'm going to get loads and loads of wear out of. So it's been a really productive day, so I'm really happy. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to make at least another pair, definitely. It's about finding the right kind of fabric in my stash. I mean, obviously you know that I've got loads and loads of fabric, but the problem is I don't have enough of a lot of fabrics, because with me being tall as well, I need 3 meters to get these pants out of fabric. So a lot of the suitable fabrics that I would want to make, I would need, I don't have enough of. So yeah, so we'll have to see. I quite fancy making a pair out of cotton lawn. I think would look quite nice. I might try that and give that a go and see how that works. Viscose, some of the viscoses I've got are quite thin, and I think that you would get the dreaded VPL, which obviously I don't want. So but no, really pleased with this. I'm really grateful now that I've managed to alter that pattern and make it fit me, which means I've got a really good trouser block now that I can use to make more of these pants. So brilliant, really happy. Hello and happy Sunday. So it's almost lunchtime, and I have had a really busy morning. I have been filming my April Makes vlog. Well, actually it's going to be 2, because I have made so many things in April that I just can't fit it all into one vlog. So I am splitting it into separates and then dresses and jumpsuits. So I've just been sorting through everything that I've made. I've just filmed the vlog and I'm out of breath because I've just been filming all the I've just been taking all the pictures of me in all the different tops and shorts and trousers and everything else, and yeah, it's really exhausting work actually. So I haven't been for a run this morning. Martin's been to do the shopping while I was doing that, so that was really good. So I've got out of that one. I've still got to film my dresses and jumpsuits vlog, but I think I'm going to do that tomorrow night because I want to join in the KB hangout, which is ongoing now. I think it's already started, and I've got to edit this week's vlog, edit that vlog as well, and also sew up the pants for the scrubs that I started on Friday. So, and I also want to make myself a pair of shorts out. The Palazzo pants that I did yesterday was such a massive success that I want to make a pair of shorts from that pattern. as well, for when the weather gets a bit nicer. It was supposed to be nice this weekend, but we're a bit overcast here. The sun keeps peeping out, but it's not as nice as I thought it was going to be. So I haven't been for a run this morning. I did originally plan to go, but my legs are a bit achy from yesterday, so I've decided to give it a miss today. But that's my week done really, because I'm back at work tomorrow and then I start my new job on Wednesday. I can really tell that I am toning up and losing weight. I haven't been weighed. I have not been weighed for 2 weeks actually. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Something like that. But I can really tell that I am losing it now, and I think that's because I'm really ramping up the running. So yeah, my plan today is I'm going to join the KB hangout, so I'm not going to get a chance to film anymore for today. And I am going to yeah, get the scrubs sewn up while I'm watching the hangout, but I need to edit the vlogs first, and then I am going to make myself some shorts. So I'm going to love you and leave you here if that's okay this week, and yeah, I will be back with you next week. Take care, bye.